In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your homepage widgets for your BlastPod account. Now, the homepage widgets are widgets that are specific to the homepage of your BlastPod website, specifically the landscape widget and the portrait widget. And depending on which template you're using, these two widgets will be displayed a little bit differently. So on the classic template, you have here the landscape widget. The wider of the two widgets will be displayed on the top of the left-hand column. And right underneath that is the portrait widget, which is the taller of the two widgets. Both widgets display on the left-hand column. On the new style template, the portrait widget will be displayed over here on the right-hand side, while the landscape widget is displayed over here on the left-hand side underneath your most recent podcast episodes. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to set up these widgets on your BlastPod website. So what you're going to want to do is come to the home page and hover over widgets and extras, and we'll go ahead and start with the landscape widget, and we'll just click on that. Now, for the landscape widget, which is this guy right over here, the wider of the two widgets, you can select it to be a video player or an audio player. If you want it to be a video player, you can put a YouTube video in there. It's great for like an introductory video. If you want to introduce people to what your podcast is about through a YouTube video, or if you just want to have a featured YouTube video, you can go ahead and do that. And you'll just put the YouTube information right here, the URL for that YouTube video, and of course put a title for this section right here in the video widget title area. I am going to go ahead and use it as the audio player widget though. As you can see over here on the sample hour, Drew Sample has a video from YouTube as his, and I want mine to be a podcast episode. You can set it up to be the most recent episode. You can set it up just to play random podcast episodes, or you can set it up for a specific podcast. I want it to be a specific podcast. I want my player to show the episode 000 of my podcast, the Racking the Shotgun episode. So when you hit specific podcast, then you'll go ahead and pick which specific podcast you want to play. I want it to be my very first episode. So I'm going to click on Racking the Shotgun, and I am going to enter the video title right here. And I'm just going to add a call to action to the newcomers to my website. And it just says start with this episode. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save changes. Now, when I go to my website and I hit refresh, you will see that right here underneath the most recent episodes will be my feature episode, Racking the Shotgun, episode 000 of Anarchopreneur. And right up here above that episode, it says start with this episode, so people can know that this is the first podcast that I want them to listen to. Next, we're going to show you how to change or set up your portrait widget, which is right here on the right-hand side, and which falls right underneath the landscape widget on the classic template. And Drew has his Twitter feed set up over here. You can set up a Twitter feed. I am going to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to go into widgets and extras, and I'm going to find portrait widget setup. And instead of Twitter, I want my portrait widget to be set up with Facebook. So you can select Twitter or you can select Facebook. That's what I'm going to go ahead and do. And title it what you want it to be titled. Facebook feed is fine for me. Then you can enter the name of the Facebook page. So I'm going to go ahead and enter Anarchopreneur, the Nathan Frazier Show. And you can pick whether you want the Facebook header to show. You can pick if you want the header image to show, if you want fan profile pictures to show. You can adjust all of that however you want it to be displayed. And then right here, you're going to want to get the Facebook page URL and copy and paste it into this field. So I'm going to go to my Facebook page, copy the URL from right here, go back to my BlastPod account and enter that URL and hit save changes. And now when I go back to my BlastPod website, I'm going to go ahead and hit refresh. And as you can see, my Facebook feed shows up instead of the Twitter feed. So now I have customized the front end of my BlastPod website with my landscape widget right here and my portrait widget right here. You can go ahead and have fun with these and figure out how you want them to be featured. This is how it will look on the new style template, and this is how it will look on the classic template. So again, widgets specific to the homepage of your BlastPod site will be over in Widgets and Extras, Landscape widget, and Portrait widget.